Shettima will become president if Tinubu resigns, following certificate saga. Nigerians react to constitutional law. This our law get loophole everywhere. An electoral law says that both vice president and the president are on the same ticket. So once one person is disqualified, both of them are disqualified. I'm sure the officers are looking for a way to see if Tinubu is impeached or removed from office, that Shettima will continue as his vice. I don't think that suffices because both of them are on the same ticket. And Tinubu is the master holder of that ticket. So once Tinubu is disqualified, both of them are disqualified. So it's not either impeached, both of them are impeached, not one person. So we need to put this straight here before Hausa will say the constitution will not say, because we have very controversial, wicked lawyers in this country that will start misinterpreting things to get what they want. But this is what the narrative they are trying to push here. But let's dive into the details and see what it says. Section 146 of the Nigerian Constitution isn't sitting comfortably with many Nigerians who oppose the presidency of Bola Tinubu owing to the controversies surrounding his academic records. In Section 146, Paragraph 1 of the Constitution, it is clearly stated that the Nigerian Vice President shall hold the office of the President if the office of the President becomes vacant by reason of death, resignation, or impeachment. Can you imagine? Now, in the case of President Bola Tinubu, his deputy Vice President Kashim Shettima will take over office if any of the above scenarios play out following the myriad of controversies surrounding Tinubu's academic record. However, President Tinubu's critics now want his election disqualified instead of his resignation after making reference to the Constitution. Now, a concerned Nigerian, Panache, said, "I have been saying that Tinubu should be disqualified. He did not win 2023 presidential election, and with all evidence, he is not even fit to be on the ballot." Okay, well, now he says in his Twitter page, "We have been calling for Tinubu's resignation all day, but my research has shown that Section 146 of the Constitution states that the Vice President will take over if Tinubu resigns. So we should rather be calling for his disqualification. This will render both of them invalid." Can you imagine? So meanwhile, the ongoing battle to oust President Tinubu for his documented misdeeds heightened yesterday after Chicago State University testified under oath that the Nigerian leader presented a forged degree certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission in the build-up to the presidential election background. So according to People's Gazette, the official repudiation of Mr. Tinubu's certificate, the only academic qualification he presented to INEC, came at a deposition of school officials on Tuesday in Chicago. So Caleb Westberg, the registrar at Chicago State University, said Mr. Tinubu's certificate dated June 22, 1979 and tendered to INEC on June 17, 2022 was not issued by the school. He also noted that the school's administrators could therefore not be able to authenticate his source. Bam. So what is happening now is we're already looking at who will take over. Remember, I said this in my previous video that normally if the ticket for Tinubu is tying Shettima into it, okay, and if Tinubu leaves office, he should leave office with his vice president. And what happens by the Constitution? The Constitution says that the third citizen, who is the Senate president, becomes the president, interim president, who will conduct a fresh election, okay, to determine who continues to pilot the affairs of the nation as president. So with the way things are now, with this section 146, paragraph 1 of the Nigerian Constitution that has been dug out now, is still saying that if the president is impeached, resigns, or in death, the vice president takes over. I'm sure that was the section of the Constitution that brought Goodluck Jonathan to power when the then president Yaradua passed on. Okay, I'm sure that was the one that Nigerians latched on to bring in Goodluck Jonathan to continue. It is clear, but the fact here is it should be either death. It should be only in death, not in resignation or impeachment, because in resignation it means that he has invalidated the ticket that is tying him and the vice president. Now, if he's in debt, that's a natural cause that allows the vice president to continue. But if he's impeached, it means that they're impeaching the ticket that is carrying him and Shettima. So it means that section of the Constitution needs to be amended again. So the problem I have here is that our Nigerian Constitution needs to be reviewed in totality because it contradicts itself in so many ways. It causes confusion in so many ways. And that creates loopholes for miscreants to latch on to do havoc to Nigeria. Okay? And this is very, very bad. We need to review our Constitution. We cannot continue like this. Okay? It creates so many discrepancies that the mischievous individuals, mischievous politicians are using to hold on to. And there's also another section of the Constitution that says that if the president and the vice president leaves, the next person that will take over is the Senate president. So I'm sure, what is his name? Akpabio will be reviewing the Constitution now to see where he comes in if Bola Tinubu has to leave. But the way things are now, people are calling for his disqualification, which, because under disqualification, the ticket is gone, and both Shettima and Tinubu will go. Unfortunately, who will disqualify them? Is it not the same judiciary that is in the pocket of the executive? The judiciary is not independent in Nigeria, and so cannot do the needful. Already, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ariwala, has come out now to say that they will not use a general comment in the social media to make decision. They will follow the Constitution. So what does the Constitution say? Only God knows how they will interpret it. And the Constitution also allows the judiciary at that level to use their discretion for the interests of the nation, so-called interests of the nation. But I don't know whether this will have interest of the nation at heart. It is their own interest that is driving them. I know that. So this is a very serious situation now that we are facing, because Tinubu now is standing on one leg in that office. He has to leave. He has to leave. For forgery, which is a criminal offense, and perjury, lying under oath, all those are criminal offenses. He has to leave office. That is the truth. The disgrace is enough. And more disgrace is coming because, one, the owner of the signature, Dr. Daniel, the lady in the US that owned that signature that was forged on the certificate that was submitted to INEC, has vowed to sue Tinubu to court in the US. Another international disgrace. FBI will start releasing 2,500 page document of Tinubu dossier in their database, and that will start this month, October, probably next week. That is another level of disgrace. So Tinubu will have to leave. Now the presidency is saying that Tinubu's certificate is not forged. On what premise are they basing their propaganda? Because what they are trying to do now is to create a different narrative so that the CJN and the Supreme Court will use that line to pass their judgment. This is a very bad precedent that Nigeria is setting. I think Nigeria is heading to collapse. There's no way Nigeria will be like this in the hand of corrupt politicians without collapsing completely. Obviously, Nigeria is going to collapse, whether we like it or not. The same thing that the Igbos are saying, break this country, everybody goes his own way, they refuse. Now, we're going to a level where it will collapse completely and everybody will start scampering for his own destination. That is it. Because the so-called politicians that we have, starting from the president, all the members of APC cabinet, they are going to destroy this country completely, and they have already started it, and they don't care because their selfish interest is what is driving them. They don't care. Even if the country is collapsed, provided they still have access to the country's treasury, they don't care. Something has to happen differently, I tell you. And if care is not taken, they are just saying there can't be military coup in Nigeria. This situation that is coming up now, if it's not well managed, is a very strong recipe for military to come and take over. And it's obviously going to happen. I see it, because it's either the military will use the initiative to take over, or a kind of uncontrollable anarchy will start that will make military to take over. They don't know. These people think that they can always get away with all these dubious activities. Somebody is making a comment here. Never, even Shettima is not qualified. Okay, another person saying, I don't know that Yoruba tribe is a tribe full of criminals and they have started turning to tribe now. They don't have to. So you Yoruba imbeciles support a criminal uncle. Can you imagine? In Bayelsa, when it affected deputy, both of them were sacked by Supreme Court. Exactly. Somebody said Igbo should advise Peter Obi to stop dragging Tinubu. The man is unshakable. Can you imagine? He will be in power till 2033. Obviously, don't know what you're saying. With criminal records? No. Some say, may God have insulted themselves there. Wow. It is not true, and there should not be any attempt to bamboozle Nigerians with crafted lies. In the event of Tinubu resigning on account of certificate saga, Shettima, the vice president, who came in on a joint ticket, cannot remain in office. That is it. Law is different from logic. No, we are saying the way it is. If Tinubu is disqualified, Shettima goes with him. That can only stand if they were duly elected. Abi, nobody elected them. He cannot. Since Tinubu was fraudulently nominated, it means the vice president cannot stand. It is a joint ticket. You cannot build something on nothing. You correct, sir, but Yoruba proverb says that Tiwon ba faokun oku afagbo. I don't know that one. Oh. All Tinubu needs to do is to get someone to swear an affidavit that he was the one that made the mistake and not Tinubu. Just like Wiki when he was governor of Rivers State, and Tinubu will be discharged and acquitted, just like Wiki too was discharged and acquitted. Can you imagine? That's all. You will soon go and buy Agbado in Chicago. So the way this thing is, this narrative they are trying to create is obviously going to come from the north. You cannot say that if Tinubu is impeached or he's dead or he resigns, that the vice president takes over. That doesn't work. They're operating on the same ticket. He must leave. Okay? He must leave. It's not going to be only on ground of disqualification. Where we know what happened between Goodluck and Yaradua. It was a natural cause of death. That was why Goodluck completed the tenure. But this is not a natural cause. It is a fraudulent criminal cause which affects both of them. So they have to leave. It's a very terrible situation and quite unfortunate. So they are beginning to create different kinds of propaganda, and it is going to be a very bad one, because they cannot tell us that if Tinubu resigns or is impeached by then the next thing is Shettima. It cannot be Shettima. It has to be Senate president. Thank God the Senate president even knows what is happening too, and all of them are corrupt. They know how to handle themselves. But Nigerians will not open their eyes to see this happen again. It is very, very bad situation. Thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.